Hello, I'm Lieutenant Keeton with the Cobb County Fire Department. I work in the train division. We've got a new maze that we've built. We just kind of want to give you guys an idea how to use it. Anybody can use the maze when you guys come down here. There's no permission needed. We don't need to know ahead of time that you want to use the maze. If you're down here doing some other training and you decide, hey, it'd be kind of cool if we had some time to do the maze, just come over here. You have the lock code. You can unlock it and crawl through the maze. Well, all that we ask on that is that we have a 2-person minimum. So we ask at least 2 people are here when you're actually using the maze for safety reasons. We do have a QR code that we've built in. Here's the QR. Just if you don't mind taking your phone, shooting that QR code. All we want to know is who used the maze, was it useful, what level maybe you went through, how long you used the maze. There's a questionnaire there. The biggest component of that is what can we improve on? What can we do better to improve the maze? We expect people to break the maze, things to go wrong with the maze. It's made out of wood. Nobody's going to get in trouble. We just want to know so we can fix it for the next crews that come down. And as you can see, we have a thermometer at the end of the maze. It's purely for informational purposes. When your crews come in, if you're curious as to how hot it is in the maze and whether you need to possibly dress down, you can use that thermometer to weigh in on your decision making. When we talk about the levels of PPE that we want to be in with the maze, we have 3 levels that we have. This is going to be our minimum level. This is going to be your helmet and gloves, and this is how we usually start the recruits when we do it. The second level will be bunkered out. You can use it with a mask if you need a mask. If you don't need a mask, then you can do it without the mask. So helmet and gloves with your bunker gear. And then finally we can get to our full level of PPE where we're bunkered out, breathing air. But our minimum PPE is going to be with helmet and gloves, and then after that you can tailor it to fit your training needs. Okay, here we are, we're inside the maze. The maze is designed with 3 different levels, green, yellow, and red. And as we move through the levels, I'll explain them to you. The ladder that you see here is the ladder that you would use to enter the top of the maze. The ladder is stowed away inside the top of the front of the maze. You'll just pull it down, there's little lines here, the hooks hook in, and this is the ladder you'll use. As we move through the maze, the green part is there's no obstacles. You can use one level of the maze, or you can transition to all 3 levels in the green phase with no obstacles whatsoever. We have portal holes that are built in, every part of it, so you can see in without having to access it. If you need to pull somebody out of the maze, we have access hatches throughout the maze as well. When we talk about the different levels, green being nothing, no encumbrances whatsoever, we have yellow would be the cutouts. These cutouts you can move around in different positions if you'd like. They'll introduce different levels of difficulty as you move through, as you operate the panels. As we move on down this way, the final section of the maze will be the red section. As you can see, we have red dowels here. They simply unscrew if you want to take them out, or they screw in. The red is the hardest part of the maze, red being adding the panels themselves, including the red portions of it. And like I said, you can do the top portion, or you can transition and do the entire maze. It really depends on what you guys are looking for with your crews. With the recruits, we start them on the green section and they run the whole thing. Then we introduce the yellow, and then we introduce the red, and we'll put them on air. And finally, we can introduce, if you have some needs like a smoke machine or something like that, you can use Operative IQ and let us know, hey, we'd like a smoke machine or something else. We have blackout masks, that type of thing that we can introduce as well to make the maze more difficult if needed. And those are the basics of how we use the maze. When we use the maze, we have a philosophy down here in the training division. We like to crawl first, walk, and then run. Thus the 3 different levels of PPE and also the 3 different difficulty levels of the maze itself. We also like to think of this maze as not a survival maze, but more of a confidence maze. Although you can increase the complexity to create survival situations if that's what your crews need.